Hello everybody. In this video, we'll talk about a few changes that happened this week, specifically under Biden's new plan to restore faith in our immigration system. We're going to talk about the introduction of the EAGLE Act. The EAGLE Act is going to help reduce country caps on employment-based and family-based immigrant visas. We're going to talk about Biden's new immigration policy, giving immigration prosecutors and ICE attorneys more power to dismiss and close immigration cases. We're going to talk about who qualifies and when it's going to take effect. And finally, we're going to talk about a new proclamation released by Biden this week, designating June 2021 as a National Immigrant Heritage Month. So, what are you waiting for? I'll see you on the other side. Hello everybody, and welcome back to our immigration channel. This is a place where you get the most up-to-date immigration news, immigration updates, and everything else that you need to know to make your immigration journey less stressful. My name is Jacob Sapochnick, and I'm an immigration attorney located in San Diego, California. And I help clients in all 50 states. If you're here for the first time, don't forget to subscribe to our channel, click the notification bell so you don't miss any of our videos, and also give us a big like so YouTube will be able to recommend this video to more people just like you. So let's start with the EAGLE Act, what it is and who may benefit from this amazing legislation. So last week, Democratic Representative Zoe Longfern and Republican Representative John Curtis introduced the Equal Access to Green Cards for Legal Employment Act of 2021. And the essence of this act is going to boost our economy in the way that it's going to allow employers to hire immigrants based on their skills and merit and not their country of birth. This legislation aims to phase out the 7% limit on immigrant visas for employment-based categories and also raise the 7% cap on family-based immigrant visas from 7% to 15%, therefore speeding up the process where families can immigrate to the United States. But what most interesting is, specifically for family-based immigrant visas, is that it's going to open a 9-year path to eliminate this cap altogether. So within the next 9 years, there's going to be no limit at all for family-based immigrant visas, which is amazing if this act will pass. One of the things that the representative said when they introduced this bill is that our current immigration system is not fair. Think about it. If you're a person that has extraordinary qualifications from a country with a high population, say for example India, somebody like that who could contribute greatly to our country by providing assistance in innovation, in research, a person like that has to wait many years behind a person with less qualifications from a smaller population country. That person is going to immigrate faster than the person that is more qualified, that is more educated, but he happened to be born in a country with a large population. This doesn't make sense. But this is why our immigration system is broken, and this is why we need change, and we need it now. So hopefully if the EAGLE Act is going to pass, it's going to change our immigration system completely. It's going to create a merit-based system where people that are more educated, with more qualifications, are going to be able to immigrate faster the way it should be. This legislation is super important because the current visa backlog may last for decades, and we need something to change the dynamics of how visas are being allocated right now. Now, this legislation is not law yet. It has to pass the House of Representatives, then the Senate, and eventually go to Congress for the president to be able to sign it. At least we are talking about it. At least this administration recognizes that our current immigration system is broken and something has to happen to change it. So let's keep our fingers crossed. And of course, I'll keep you posted once we have more information about the EAGLE Act. So from visa backlogs, hopefully the EAGLE Act will help resolve that, to our backlog at immigration court systems. What's happening there? So the Biden administration issued a policy memo last week giving ICE attorneys and prosecutors more power to dismiss cases in court. Essentially, they're bringing back prosecutorial discretion. Now, if you remember, under the Trump administration, prosecutorial discretion was gone, meaning that everybody was a priority for deportation. That's why our court system is now backlogged with 1.5 million cases waiting for a hearing or a trial. 1.5 million cases, this is crazy. So under this new policy guidelines, prosecutors are going to be able to make a decision and prioritize which cases should actually go to trial, which people should actually be deported, and which cases should be completely dismissed. And the guidelines is as following. If you're a long-time green card holder and you got into trouble and now you're in deportation proceedings, because under the Trump administration, pretty much almost any crime could get you deported, now prosecutors will have discretion and say, you know what, this person has been a green card holder for 20 years. We now have discretion to dismiss the case or close it. Another category is pregnant immigrants and elderly immigrants. Under the Trump administration, even pregnant women were taken into custody and continued with their deportation process while they're pregnant. Now prosecutors are going to have discretion to determine if they want to proceed with deportation or essentially close those cases. Another category is immigrants that were brought into this country illegally as kids, maybe committed some crimes, were placed into deportation proceedings. Well, now prosecutors are going to have discretion to decide whether they should proceed with deportation or close their cases completely. So again, it gives more flexibility for prosecutors and ICE attorneys, and that's going to help us clear the backlog of the court system. Once again, this is under Biden's policy to restore faith into our immigration system, to clear the backlogs and give government attorneys more power and decide whether some cases should go to trial, whether some people should be deported, or they have the authority to close cases, which we believe that within a year or two will help us eliminate this crazy backlog in the court system that we're currently facing. So overall, these are great news. And if you're facing a deportation proceeding, make sure you speak to an immigration attorney to see whether they can negotiate with ICE the closure of your case right now. And finally, for our last segment, consistent with Biden's efforts to bring faith to the immigration system, a new proclamation was issued last week designating June 2021 as Immigrant Heritage Month. And the proclamation reads the following: America is, always has been, and always will be a nation of immigrants. It was the premise of our founding. It is reflected in our Constitution. It is etched upon the Statue of Liberty that from her beacon hand glows worldwide welcome. During National Immigrant Heritage Month, we reaffirm and draw strength from the enduring identity and celebrate the history and achievements of immigrant communities across our nation. Once again, while we don't have immigration reform yet, Biden continues with his actions to show his support for immigration, to show his support for what he promised us that he's going to do in the first 100 days after he was elected, and he continues to do so every single day. So June 2021, Immigrant Heritage Month, let's go and celebrate. So hopefully this information was helpful in this video. We talked about the EAGLE Act, we talked about the new memo from ICE, giving more power to prosecutors to close cases in deportation, and finally June 2021 is now Immigrant Heritage Month. If you enjoyed this video, make sure you share it with somebody that cares. Let me know in the comments what other videos you would like to see and any questions you have. And also don't forget to subscribe to our channel, click the notification bell to not miss any of our videos, and give us a big like so YouTube will be able to share this video with more people just like you. If you need a consultation to discuss your specific case, don't forget to send me a text, 619-483-4549. I'd like to talk to you as well. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you on our next video.